Hey lovelies, let's have a little chat about integration and shifting from this 3D kind of old dense energy into this 5D energy of choosing to have more ease with abundance and what we are calling into our realities as human beings, as beings, and as souls. So many people come to me and they tell me that they're ready to shift, and the thing that they have to kind of fight with, I suppose, for a lack of a better word, is the resistance of letting the chaos happen in their life. Because anything that has to shift, anything that grows, goes through change. And with change can come chaos. People come to me and they ask for massive amounts of change, and I tell them that they have to be willing to push through the resistance and the chaos to receive the change. Now, it's up to the individual on how chaotic that's going to be or how hard that resistance is going to be that they push through, and this all has to do with their receiving, whether they're willing to receive, whether they're willing to release their blocks and allow the abundance and the joy and the integration to happen with ease. We can download a whole lot of information when we are asking for change, as we open up our channels, as we align to our design by, opening our chakras and balancing them, clearing them, working on our aura, our energetic light body, and all these different things. And sometimes it can feel a little bit different. We may feel more space, or we may even feel like we're a little bit lonely, because a lot of the time when I'm working with people, I do a lot of entity clearings, a lot of clearings, implant removal, soul retrievals. So, of course, your human is going to feel a little bit different within your vessel, but also your soul and your mind. Things are going to happen within these different dimensions, so to speak. So, what must we do when we're asking for change? We must lean in and allow the change to happen and call in support, okay? Not in like a codependent leaning on people, but more of a leaning back and allowing our angels and our ancestors and this beautiful Gaia that we are living on and in to come and contribute to us, including the sun and the moon and the planets and you know the universe, because everything is actually here to support us. But when we have a receiving problem and when we are not actually available for change, but we are being called to it, a part of us is being called to it, we can experience a whole lot of chaos and a whole lot of resistance that comes with the chaos. So instead of creative change and conscious creation, we're actually coming from a point of resistance. So it's kind of like running in a swimming pool rather than swimming in the pool, right? So it's like, do we ride the wave or do we crash into it? Like, there's so many different things I could use as analogies, but at the end of the day, if you're choosing change, things are going to shift. A lot of people have these soul alignment sessions with me, like a 90-minute intensive, and I do all the soul work in these sessions along with life coaching and all these different, the modalities that I've learned over the years with my energy shifting. And their lives completely change, their relationships change. They move towns, they move jobs, they move houses, they have different relationships. Within the relationships, they become more conscious, and they go through these different flows, these flows of ego and these flows of flow and receiving, and that is all completely normal. We've been taught that resistance and feeling different feelings like fear and unworthiness and all of these different feelings we've been taught to run and hide, or quite often we freeze or delete or generalize when different things are happening to us, instead of leaning in and asking a few questions, because we're not really taught to ask questions here. And some of those questions are, well, what is actually going on here? Is this aligned with my truth and what I've been asking for? And if that feels like an expansive, a little bit exciting, maybe a little bit terrifying at the same time, that's okay. When these things happen, we must lean in And if we are in our integrity and we are looking after ourselves, everything will always fall into place. But somewhere we lost our faith in the earth, somewhere we lost our faith in ourselves when we bought into the collective energy of what was right or wrong or good or bad for survival. But we're coming into this 5D paradigm of your thoughts are bringing in your reality faster than ever before. Whether it's the negative or whether it's the positive, we must take responsibility for our thoughts and our action and not function from the thought. Like Eckhart Tolle says, when we start using our mind instead of our knowing and our consciousness and our being, then we can quite often go into creating this mind entity where we get obsessed with the same thing. And I'm not going to lie, I've done this many times, I still do. But the difference is now is I can pick it. I know that if I'm getting kind of single focused on something and I'm like, I want it, I want it, I want it, and the ego starts coming in, then I'm going to learn a really, really beautiful lesson, and that beautiful lesson will be shown to me. And this is where we do the work with the shadow self. Now, I say shadow self because that's what a lot of people understand. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the words are. It doesn't matter. Like I was brought up religious, so I learned a lot of lessons that way. And a lot of spiritual people, gurus and stuff, they use certain words. It doesn't fucking matter. A word is a word, Like it's about the energy behind the word of that vibration. So whether you say shadow work or whether you say, ego, or whether you say, polarity, like working to integrate your polarities or whatever it is, it's really about the energy of what you be. It's not about this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, and I'm not getting results, because what you're doing, there's emptiness behind it if you are not actually willing to receive. So when people come into my vortex, I say to them, are you willing to receive? Are you willing to be judged? Because the truth is, if you are not willing to be judged, and if you judge others, then you are not willing to receive, and you're also judging yourself, right? So we are here to grow, to take responsibility for ourselves, and to go with this flow. We all have a flow. We must go with our menstrual cycles, with our moon cycles, with our emotional authorities. Like, what is our emotions saying? Are they telling, is it ours or is it somebody else's when we're feeling things? We're here to expand, we're here to go through waves, to download information and to integrate that. So journaling and meditating and gardening and walking on the beach and having baths, I mean, that's some of my favorite things, but what is your favorite thing to do? It might be baking, right? Personally, gardening isn't mine, but I know a lot of people love gardening. It's a form of meditation. About being, it's about being in integrity, and when we're in integrity, then we are doing the things that bring us joy, to make us feel like we are one with the earth and with the universe and with each other. There's no space for judgment. There's no space for comparing. There's no space for jealousy or envy. There's no space for going, one day I will or should or could or whatever, because time goes fast, man. Like, this time goes fast, and we are the creators of this. So this is just a 10-minute riff to say, where are you functioning from resistance, and instead of leaning into the chaos and saying, I asked for change, now I'm receiving it, and I'm full of gratitude. Now, which is the easiest path for me to take? I'm going to lean back and I'm going to ask my support team to come in and guide me and show me, to give me the evidence, to give me the, the way forward, the forward. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to take aligned action on what feels good for me within my heart, within my soul, and not within my head. Be the contribution to the world that you truly be by being you, finding your joy, trusting your knowing, coming into your wisdom, and allowing the chaos to step in and having ease with that chaos. because that's when the change really comes in. I love you.